Ladies and gents, it's Forrest here, and we are on episode 11 of Texan Tailgate. Today, we're going to be asking ourselves what a world without crypto or DeFi looks like. And tonight, I'm very pleased to introduce we got Immutable in the house. We got Face of Reality, Erwin holding it down. Look at that Texan logo, amazing. David Lee. We got Hexy Quinn, and we got Robert. We got a fun panel tonight, everyone. So thank you for being here. What's up, everybody?
Not much. How about you?
Dude, good. Chilling at the Holiday Inn. Hexy Quinn has been away for a couple of weeks. It's so nice to have her back in the chat. +1 if you're happy to see Hexy back on here. I know you got tired of our faces, so it's good to see here. Looking through here, what we got in the chat. We got Samantha was first in there, early bird. I saw her earlier whenever I hopped in. Got Yup K. We got Hex Force 1, Godfather J6. What up? We got our own folks. We got My Online Ghost. What's going on? As we got Rags in the house. What's up? What's up, brother? Let's see. All right. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. What is it?
I wanted to do the dab for him, but I don't know how.
You don't know how?
You don't know how?
It's a nose to elbow. Boof! That's what he does. Dude, love it. Well, appreciate everyone being on here tonight. We're going to be starting up with Mutable's got a section for us. We normally cover the Whale Watch, but this will be a new version. So we hope you all enjoy it. We're going to give him the stage here in just a moment. Let's get it going with the whale. What you got for us, Immutable?
Yeah, so like I was telling you before, so earlier today when I was going through and I was going to be looking at it, noticed Etherscan was down, and I think Richard Hart tweeted about it. And then also with all the still learning the Pulse Chain block explorers. So tonight will be a little different, but I just kind of wanted to go over a few things. I'll share my screen here. Share screen. All right, can you see that? Perfect. Yeah, so just wanted to go over the price chart. So first things first. So right over here, I have the Texan on Pulse Chain charts right here. So this one here is V1, this one here is V2. And so the first thing I want to talk about is, if you notice when you come in here, the liquidity on V1, Texan only has 2.8K in liquidity versus on V2, which has 37K in liquidity. A little earlier is at 43. And then that the V2 kind of mimics what it is on Uniswap V3 on Ethereum, which is about 42K in liquidity. So you see here, these are the prices up top. So right now, the prices on both Ethereum and Pulse Chain are below the donation rate. However, when you combine them together, they are above the donation rate. So we're looking at about, right now, looks like about a 1.3, 1.4x, what all things considered, between the two.
Awesome.
Yeah. And right now we're at the bottom of the bear, and like you look down here, everything else, like all the other ones, that's just the past couple of days, but everything else, you see that's Pulse in terms of DAI. It's been going down. Like Hex on Pulse also is going down. So like, it's not just a Texan thing. Like the entire market has generally been following the same general sort of trend. And the fact that Texan, when all things combined, are still above the donation rate, that's really impressive.
No doubt.
Yeah. So kind of transitioning into the next little thing there, which is talking about the liquidity. So like I was showing on V1, there's only, like I was right here, only 2.8K in liquidity versus V2, which had 37K in liquidity. There's a reason for that. And so on Pulse Chain, or on PulseX, just a couple of days ago, we had V2 launch. The whole reason for V2 launching was there was like a little bit of an issue with the code where the fees that the liquidity providers were supposed to be getting, they weren't getting. So they were still getting incentive token, and they were getting a lot of incentive token. But they changed the code and launched V2. So On V1, you still have liquidity providers getting incentive token through the farms. And then on V2, liquidity providers are getting the fees that we all knew were going to be coming from all the test nets. And so you might ask, so we'll go down and look here. Just want to illustrate something else. So Pulse chain, there's a Pulse. So on V1, so on V1, there's 22.4 million in liquidity versus on V2, there's 215K. So you might be wondering, all right, why the difference between TEXAN and Pulse? So right now, a lot of the Pulse pairs are earning the incentive token, where TEXAN pairs or any other of the really non-Richard Hart ecosystem pairs are not earning incentive tokens. So there's not really a whole lot of incentive for non-Richard Hart ecosystem pairs to be staying on V1, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. I know I'm rambling a little bit.
No, it's good information. Thank you.
So just want everyone to be of note when you're making your swaps, when you're trading in and out. Just be aware, like lower liquidity can cause higher slippage, can cause just make sure you're getting the best price for your trades.
Good information.
Yeah. So then the other, and so this is kind of, I think this is kind of going off from Whale Watch, so we can kind of segue here. But I had the topic of, so the new bridge came out, what was it, yesterday or the day before? So this is big news especially for a lot of our TEXAN onboards who didn't sacrifice for Pulse, that don't have any Pulse, and so they want to get over to Pulse. Like you might have all of them have TEXAN on Pulse chain, but they're not necessarily able to use it unless you know somebody, or unless unless they were able to find a faucet or something like that. So now with this new wrapped Pulse and the bridge, you're able to buy wrapped Pulse on Ethereum and then bridge it over to Pulse chain, and it'll automatically unwrap. The tricky thing here is just make sure you're doing the right contract. And so I'm going to stop sharing this now. So just make sure you're using the right contract. So the new wrapped Pulse contract, the last 4 is D68 alpha. So just make sure that that's the one you're buying when you're ended with 5341.
Where can people find the correct contract addresses? Where's a good place that you found that's reliable?
The best place is Richard Hart's tweets. 100%. Always check that. But then you can also check on the Pulse block explorer. So on scan.pulsechain.com, you can search. Or actually, no. So this one would be on Ethereum, because you're buying it on Ethereum and then bridging it over to Pulse Chain. So you'd have to find it on Etherscan. But always look at Richard Hart's tweets. I know he tweeted this out yesterday or the day before with both contracts on there. So always go with what he's saying.
Awesome stuff, brother. Thank you for taking the time to do all of that, and for it's good information for folks to have. And I think that at some point in time, maybe we'll get you to do one of those multi charts and show us how you're doing all that stuff, man. If you're ever up to it.
Sure.
Let's see. Isn't it past everybody's bedtime? Logan's run.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Whoa.
So true.
Yeah, we're up late on a Sunday. It's okay.
Especially
it's okay.
for you facing reality.
And
Yeah.
it's me.
What time do you all normally go to sleep?
No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna have to change the time.
No, it's good. I like it. Wraps up the week, and nice positive thing going into the week. So that's good.
For sure. Well, so I wanted to kind of tease everybody's brains a little bit with the title of this, and I just wanted to kind of like go around and like what would you all imagine the world would be like if we didn't have these opportunities, these chances that we have now in DeFi and in crypto. So I would love to hear what you all's take on that would be, and like if what you would think honestly about it.
That's a good one, because it's a hypothetical one.
Right.
Because now that we know, you know what you're gonna miss when you don't have it. But the people that don't know, they don't know. They have no idea what is coming. For us, it's exciting. I couldn't even imagine
Yeah,
now not having these possibilities in the future, because
Yeah.
we know. So,
yeah. Well, what we know, and that's kind of like the whole position of the question is like, imagine a world where you only have the chains that bind you. Imagine where there's no
Well,
options.
what was life
yeah.
like 3 years ago for me? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, yeah. I would love to know about it.
Oh, it was a sad, sad world. It was just dark. There's a light at the end of the tunnel now.
That's awesome. I mean, that's a great way of putting it too. I mean, like, what is it, but except pure, unadulterated hope, right?
Opportunity, like crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The opportunity for both ourselves and then all the people we care about, and then the world in general. So, like you're talking about 3 years ago, I don't know if I'm sure you were talking personal as opposed to like the general. But 3 years ago, we were 3 months into COVID, and like over the course of the past 3 years, you know, you see a lot of stuff. I mean, to varying degrees around the world. Um, lots of stuff that you're like, all right, what's going on here? I mean, you hear the story of the Canadian truckers all the time, like accounts being frozen, bank accounts being frozen all over the place for disagreeing or peacefully protesting. And so, like, this is if you do it right, it's a way out. It's an alternative system where that's not really a possibility. I mean, they do have ways that they could, and we've seen some of those, but for the most part, it is a alternative system that gets us out of or potentially gets us out of like the traditional finance, where everything's going to zero. I mean, you see the dollar just tanking. Like we've printed 60% of dollars in existence in the past like couple of years or something like that.
Yeah, it's insane.
So anyway.
Super crazy. No, it's good. And I like to hear it all. I really do. And I was thinking about it too because I was watching CHB and Rags on stream, and I think I'm going to misquote this, so it wasn't verbatim, but it was to the point of like TEXAN is kind of like the premier freedom and sovereignty, where it leads with it a token, right? It leads with it all the way through, all the way from the inception and like the donation phase and everything to the T&M. So like it made me think a lot about like how many other crap tokens there are that have nothing to stand on, like no legs, not even crutches really. And just having something that means what we're talking about, what we're looking for, which is a more free world, more freedom, more sovereignty, more of the things that we feel as if are controlled by oppressors, so to speak.
Dead on, Forrest. You know, if you think you go back to the beginning, what if there was never a Satoshi? What if there was never a Bitcoin white paper?
Mm.
And you know, I think we've got a preview they gave us a couple of years ago with Agenda 2030, and someone that's a little maybe a bit more mature, that's seen what's happened to our education system. I saw a clip with RFK Jr. being interviewed, and we pay $81 billion, or Big Pharma makes $81 billion a year with mandated vaccines. And then on the backside, they make another $500 billion with the problems of making drugs to, counteract the problems that they've had with the vaccines. And we got a big glimpse behind the curtain, how corrupt the elections are, how much they're willing to spend and censor and even lock you down. Remember, I know a lot of people, and this is not going to be popular, but who was president when the lockdowns began?
Right.
And I remember him going after a governor that tried to end them. So that's where I would go. Just pick up that Agenda 2030, see what they've been doing, and just imagine what they would be doing without crypto, without TEXAN, without us tokenizing communities. Matt talks about, the disconnecting financial and political power. Without this option to tokenize communities and empower themselves with their own capital without middlemen, it's a dark world.
Mm-hmm. Facts, brother. Facts. So look at this. Logan's got a good input here as well. Without crypto, we wouldn't know what an up and to the right chart looks like. Only a DXY chart, down and to the right forever. You're right.
Amen.
I mean, we can actually.
Logan's right again.
Yeah, you can pull that up. Anyone who's in here, I'm sure that everyone already knows that in our chat. But like, if there's anyone who ever is a potential on board for you, you can pull the chart up and show them. We have the tools. We have what is necessary to pull it together.
People don't even know.
Yeah,
They just take it for granted that every year something gets more expensive, even though it shouldn't. We just agree upon it. It's already normal. Oh yeah, next year it's got to be probably double. I mean, really?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, world without DeFi, we never would have come together, and none of us would have ever met each other. We all come from so many different walks of life, and I think just having options and alternatives and being able to build instead of just being stuck and chained to the same legacy systems from birth to death gives a lot more meaning and fulfillment to life. So a world without DeFi means that I would have just been continuing to do what I was doing before I got into crypto, which is probably just waste a lot more years of my life going around in circles, repeating the same behaviors and patterns that just didn't really gain me any tangible results. So, it's truly something to be thankful for.
It really is.
That's beautiful, Robert. And what would we be doing otherwise? We'd be in our little capsule producing energy for the system until we die.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because the cost of things keep going up, the dollar value keeps going down. We see this thing, and it's making things exponentially more expensive for folks. And I mean, a working forward-facing environment, and a lot of the times whenever people come in, that's what their worries are. They're worried about the eggs, right? Like we used to say, what's up? The price of eggs in China. Now in China, they're saying, what's up? The price of eggs in America, bro. Like, well, I got to think about that and let it sink in sometimes. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see here. We got Academaciated in the house. Good to see you.
We go about between 25 and 30 eggs a day since the whole family's on this new diet. Damn, I think I need to find another job. Just buy eggs. It's insane.
Chicken farmer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, will they let you have chickens in the Netherlands? Or
Yeah, sure. But in 8 weeks, I'm in Portugal, so and I
There
got
you go.
most of it sanitized. So
Yeah, and the chickens can't fly with you, right?
no, but hopefully the neighbor has chickens, so everything is set up.
Yeah, man. I can't believe that chickens are related to a T-Rex, supposedly. That's beside the point. Man, I don't know.
Don't get me started.
Yo, I mean, would you eat a T-Rex, I guess is the question. I would eat a T-Rex in a heartbeat.
T-Rex steak.
Absolutely.
Yeah, alligator.
oh yeah,
my
look
goodness.
at that leg.
Sorry,
I mean,
Sam.
Fred Flintstone would be dying for it.
I got a friend that lives in Florida that literally goes to the beach, gets a turtle, butchers it, and eats it.
Oh, poor turtle. My
Or
turtle.
crocodile or whatever. Yeah.
Dude. Hey, I mean, they that was a big thing in some of the reservations too down there, Seminoles and whatnot.
Snapping turtle soup is no joke.
Yeah.
You say turtle soup. That brings that, like, when I was in high school, the first German class. So I took German in high school instead of Spanish, and literally the first class, like one of the first, like, so we learned Hallo, wie geht's, and like that. But then, like, right after that, the next word that we learned was Schildkröte-Suppe, which is shield creature soup or turtle soup.
Wow.
So
Say that. Say it again. How you said it?
Schildkröte-Suppe.
Schildkröte-Suppe. I love that. It sounds interesting.
Little soup. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Dude,
it sounds like soup from crustaceans.
no joke. Guys, I completely derailed us. Talking about yeah. So I'm gonna bring it back in. I want to just shout this out. Look at this. Look at all of these stars in the chat.
Stars
Look
in the
at that.
chat. And Hex Force
Awesome.
One actually changed his updated his name on YouTube. I noticed he's ahead of all of us. None of us have done that yet. He's got the
Really?
star next to his name on his YouTube name.
Who
So
does?
way to go, Hex Force
Yo.
One.
Oh yeah.
Check
No
it out.
joke. Good
Yeah,
job.
with the plus 1, 2. Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool too. I was glad that Rags put out that poll to see and like everyone's reaction to it. It's been tidal as far as like the reception of it. So it's awesome for anyone who doesn't know. That's why we got it all next to our names. It's a solidarity in the Texan groups. Drix, look at that, throwing the star in there for us, bro. Good to see you, Drix. It's so hard not to get all hyped up every time I see you. Yeah.
Stars are big and bright.
Yeah, but still creatures of
In the
nature.
heart
We
of
want to belong. We want to be associated.
Facts.
Now we're all bearing a star.
That's it. We were just kind of we're all individual stars, which is interesting. Like if you think about it from a constellation standpoint, like if we were looking up, like it's cool because like we're kind of doing the exact same thing, which is life imitating life, which is, I don't know. I love all of that
We're
philosophizer
about to
things.
get real deep. We're all made of
Ooh.
star stuff.
Oh yeah, star child. That's what they say
My
in
cousin is a rock. Yeah.
Elohim.
my God. Yeah, and Samantha gave us the true fact, and the smallest unit of a Texan is called a star. That's right. I think that's on the that's on the tweet.
Yeah.
If I had my Twitter pulled up, I would actually pull up the tweet so we could show it. I'll be better prepared next time.
I think it's,
Chat.
in the white paper.
Oh yeah, you can view it on the Texan.cc/white paper. Check that out.
Robert's making me seasick over here. What the hell is he doing?
I don't know. It's
He's
like
like here and he's gone. He's here, he's gone. We're on
It
a
must-
ride.
it must be like some sort of a bandwidth thing. I've no, like my eyes are having a hard time adjusting.
Like he's here, he's not. He's here, he's not.
I've had a night where I played whack-a-mole. I felt like I was the mole. Up and down.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's got you beat this time, David. Look here.
Boom.
Yay.
Yo, Robert, you there? You
Yeah, I'm not at home. I've got terrible connection. I'm using my phone and it just keeps kicking me off, and
hey?
Can't keep you down though.
No,
Nope.
Even though I'd love to throw the phone up against a brick wall, it's not going to help the situation. So,
Oh my goodness! If I had $1 for every time, like in our last in my last career, it was in cell phones, and every elderly old lady who has said that to me, oh, this phone aggravates me so much, I could just throw it against the wall, and I'm like, you know what? That probably wouldn't fix it. It just makes the situation look. Yeah, it does feel good. Dude, it doesn't feel as. Remember whenever you used to hang up like the flip phones? Like that was the best feeling to me. Like, whoosh. Yeah, you don't want to talk to someone, you slam that thing closed, and then chuck it on the bed. Think about it again later.
You could toss
the old days. We had these old mouse with a ball in it.
Oh, yeah.
Lasers didn't exist yet. When I was gaming and it didn't go the way I wanted it, I would smash the thing through the room. Find parts literally everywhere. Every now and then I would find a ball in the house. It's so funny.
That is so funny, dude.
I forgot about those.
Yeah. That was the bane of existence whenever you had you had to pluck the lint out of them. Yeah. It just goes right.
The floppy disk wasn't even a thing yet.
Oh my goodness!
I literally had a cassette tape. I had to wait an hour before I could play my game. Good old days.
It's
and then it would
interesting.
crash at the least opportune time.
Yep. And you can start all over again. We would literally sit it on play, so we knew we had in half an hour. We'd go outside, play, come back, turn the tape around, put it on play again, go outside, and then we can play a game.
Wild.
True.
Wild. And we're talking about that, and that wasn't even that long ago, really, in like the grand scheme of things. Imagine what we'll be saying about like where we're at now, you know, because we're moving at the speed of like impossible speeds right now.
Yeah,
it's insane. I mean, you can do whatever you want or have a computer do it for you now, which is
Remember
just
when you actually physically streamed on YouTube? You actually did it yourself?
What? Yes. Oh my goodness. I remember like right before YouTube launched, like I discovered this website. I don't know that any of you all have ever found it before. It's called Homestar Runner. Anybody here know anything about that? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
As yeah, it's so funny. All right, that's beside the point. But if you want to see like a good play on how everything was, you can go watch Strong Bad Emails, and it like reflects so well what times were like through the years. Oh my goodness. Samantha, thanks for the love, like and share the stream. We appreciate everybody who is here. It's always fun to get together with everybody and just chop it up. Yeah, I mean, to kind of go back into like our like the crypto talk, I'm super interested in seeing what happens after this first 90 days. Like, I want to see where everything is. I'm pretty sure everyone's on the same page with that. But I've seen like the last 3 days in a row we've been trending well, right?
Yeah.
I haven't
since since V2, pretty much like once V2 launched. I'm looking at the charts here, like everything generally has been trending up over the past couple days. Like TEXAN's been up, Pulse is up, Pulse X is up, Hex is up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, general an uptrend for the past number of days.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I've been trying to keep some of the folks that I was telling you guys about a couple of weeks ago. Like they sacked for Pulse without really knowing what the heck was going on, and I've been trying to keep them in the loop of it. It's so interesting talking to people who hold it, and they're just so aloof. Like they could care less. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, you don't understand. You got to like do X, Y, and Z. Oh my goodness. I think I got into this. I got into a big long conversation for like onboarding. This guy had interest in it, so I started talking to him, and it bummed me out at the end of it because like I went through the whole spiel. Like I went through like circa July 4th Texan spiel, right? Like this is where we the 501c4, like all of it. Like, and I almost have watched enough streams that I could do it verbatim. And at the end of it, I was like, no one was recording this. It would have been the most epic. It would have been the most epic video to have. But that guy was super interested, and so he's piqued his interest. He's got a MetaMask on his phone now, so that's one step closer. I love that game of it, though, man. Like, I mean, I say a game, but like bringing people into the fold. I love that.
Yeah, we mentioned MetaMask, and I know Robert, you've been deep into the wallets, and so we had that Atomic wallet issue. I was going to talk about it a little earlier, but you weren't on yet, so. I don't know if you want to touch on the Atomic issue and then what you've been doing with your research.
Yeah, so when it comes to the Web3 DeFi wallets, I started looking for replacement options for MetaMask, just, deep diving, kind of seeing that, who really owns MetaMask, which I believe JP Morgan does. That's what I have heard. But I had issues back in the day where just ticker symbols weren't showing up, and I was having issues with the wallet, and I was taking a look at different alternatives. Recently, we heard about some issues with Atomic Wallet. It's not something I've ever used, but they had some security audits that came up in April to May of 2021, and this was issues with their wallet implementation, their infrastructure, how they handle the cryptography. And basically, the conclusions that they came to was that users were at risk of their funds, being subject to pretty much many different attack vectors. Now, when I read the article, they did not give the full disclosure of like all the different security issues that they found or who actually did the security audit.
Right.
But they are trying to use blockchain analytics, and they're working with centralized exchange to try to like stop transactions and recover lost and stolen funds. So it's kind of like it's a big cleanup, like a meltdown at the nuclear power plant. So, people can migrate their seed phrase to a brand new wallet. Or if you want to be like super, extra safe, just go ahead and transfer as many liquid assets as you can to a brand new seed phrase, fresh, clean wallet. One of the things I've been looking at is the Aurochs wallet is, I would say, has about the best tech that I've seen in terms of security. But as far as what their long-term goals and visions are as a company, they are going public, which means they are going to be listed as a trading company, and they're going to be backed by venture capitalists. Now, I've heard that the founders don't hold crypto, that they don't have any interest in it. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But the question is, long-term, will they still maintain that essence and principles of DeFi and self-custodial with their wallet? Because as we've seen, companies can change directions pretty quickly, because we've also seen issues with Ledger, where they have implemented a third-party KYC service. You have to opt in for it. You have to provide like your driver's license, passport, multiple levels of KYC. And there are 3 different companies that will be in charge of holding a piece of your encrypted private keys. And if you ever lose your private keys, your seed phrase, you can go through a KYC process. And if you get like 2 out of the 3 correct, they will basically give you your keys so you can recover your wallet. Now, Trezor tried something like this about a year ago. They got a lot of backlash, a lot of negative feedback, and eventually the company realized that it was not a popular decision and it started hurting them in the pocketbooks, so they backed off. Ledger might do the same. It is going to be with the Ledger Nano X, and I believe the Ledger Nano S Plus, but you have to upgrade to the newest firmware to do that. So that's the issues that have come up there. Aurochs may be fine to use for now, but long term, depending on what the company does direction wise, I don't know if they'll maintain those principles of DeFi. It's just one of those things you have to wait and see. I do love what they're doing with the internet money wallets. It is still in beta right now, and they are getting ready to launch a version 1. They're going to push it through sometime later this month. That's what their admins were telling me in their chat room. So right now, the beta is safe to use. It's not as fluid as what most people would be used to, but it's being built by hexagons for hexagons, specifically for Pulse Chain. So eventually, if there's a feature on the internet money wallet that you don't see that you like, you can send them feedback. You can talk to them in the Telegram room. But my understanding is it's a wallet that's going to continue to get better and better and better over time, which means they're going to continue to improve it. And then finally, there's the Richard Hart wallet that we're all hopeful and anticipating on, but I think it could be a while before we see that, because the launch of Pulse Chain was basically to get it out. And there's a lot of things, like all the trimmings are going to be coming in phases, so it's really one of those things where we kind of have to wait and see, but people are out there, they are building. We just have to be patient, just kind of, stay up to date and decide for ourselves what we like and what we don't like.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you were talking about internet money, and so I'm definitely excited about that too. And one of the things that kind of sold me on that is I've seen KG on Twitter a number of times, like interacting with people. Like, I don't know if they're haters or they're trolls or whatever they were, and it takes a very similar approach to dealing with those types of people that Rags does, which very authentic, very it's not for you, or well, we respect your opinion. Great. Wish you all the best, that type of thing. And he seems like a very authentic person and truly trying to do something good. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the audit, seeing everything. And if once the audit comes out, I'm all about it.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out their Telegram. It is really good. Their admins over there are really good. Azamak I've had conversations with him, good dude. And the whole team, KG and Don Montoya, good dudes. Yeah, I can't wait for it to get up and go on.
One more thing before I forget is the one thing that MetaMask has done that has put a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths is they've implemented procedures and protocols where they can block and deny transactions based on certain locations due to tax jurisdictions. So if you live in a tax jurisdiction that has just heavy overreaching tax laws, they basically reserve the right to block transactions and withhold funds. And that's why a lot of people are like, you know what, we're tired of it. We've had enough. We're going to start looking for something better.
Doesn't really sound DeFi, does it?
No, it's not. They're moving. They're going backwards, is what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go backwards, I look for the exit. I'm like, that's it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I wonder what there has to be some motive behind that, right? Like there has to be some kind of motive. I don't like that at all. Obviously, I don't think any of us do, but but it's good that we have other people who are developing and coming up with things on that way. We do have options because variety is the spice of life.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, let's see what we got in the chat here. Jonathan Kampala, Jack Handy can't wait for internet money. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I got to show you this, Robert. Look, Drix wants to know when you got your wallet coming out. Robert,
Bull Run 10,000x, man.
It just has like a hatchet on the front, dude. That would be so cool, dude. Oh my goodness,
the Purge wallet.
Pulse will be sacked.
Love it.
How much Pulse will be sacked for the RH wallet? Pulse Trainer wants to know.
Ooh.
A bunch.
A lot.
$1 trillion. Something like that. I don't know. It's got to be astronomical though. I'm excited for that.
The wallet needs a sacrifice, to be honest, especially when we're already in his ecosystem.
Right.
Except for Hex Pulse and Pulse Hex. You now want to rip me off more money. Throw me a bone, man.
Throw me a freaking bone here. Oh, no, you're right. I mean, honestly, maybe it would be one of those things like holders of X amount get one. Yeah. You know, like that would be pretty cool too.
Or people who sacrifice from certain wallets, like import the seed phrase from that into his wallet, and
Yeah, that's interesting. Like that's an interesting thought. Like, will there be a bridge for your wallet? I don't know. That sounds wild, but who knows how it's going to work? I do not. That is above my knowledge cap.
I can't keep up with all this shit. Can we just figure out what's going on with Pulse Chain first? Can we just get that shit all worked out first?
When 10,000x.
When liquid loans, when Power City.
10,000x. It's going to take a while.
I'm actually, Robert, you mentioned Power City and then also liquid loans. I think, so what are we, 1 month in, or are we right now? About a month,
maybe 5 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. Since we launched, maybe not quite even. When did we launch? I don't remember. It was like middle of May.
13th of May, 12th of May for you, 13th for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take a loan out on Pulse or Pulse X until at least a year or into a bull run, because you got to give these assets time to mature.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if you do if you do early on, like make sure you're collateralizing it at a very high percentage. But I'm intrigued to see what the actual impact will be. So like, you have all the videos about the moon math and this, that, and the other thing, but I'm interested to see how much of an impact both of those loan protocols will have on Pulse and PulseX. It should be quite interesting.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got here. How much is SAX for the RH wallet? LL and here we go. Let's see. Pulse Chain Trainer, Liquid Loans and Power City shaved consistently. Said 60 to 90 days post launch. Okay.
Yeah, Liquid Loans. I know someone said I think it was like 2 weeks ago. They said, or maybe a week ago, said about 2 months from then. So even though it's right in that timeline, 60 to 90 days, and that's absolutely for the purpose of getting past the initial craziness. They don't want people getting liquidated early on, like while the market's going.
Yeah.
So
It's another good team, right? We love CC and Walrus and Hard Pro and Hexacat. We got to see if one of them come on in a few weeks.
Yeah, we'd love that. I'd love to have it. Yeah, anytime. And anyone else who has any recommendations for folks that we should bring onto the tailgate, please leave it in the chat. Once upon a time we're going to let the tailgate down, but as there have been recent occurrences on other live streams, we aren't doing that. But we would love to have folks who reach out to us, and if you have any recommendations, let us know.
Bring Corey on.
That would be awesome. Corey has got. I love the depth of explanation that Corey does too. Yeah. As long as we can eat meatballs, dude, that's what I'm about. Look, I'm there for the meatballs, no doubt. Oh yeah, we got to do that too. The Impasa meatballs, is that a thing? I would love to try them.
That's a thing, and there's a couple others. Yeah.
See, I need to go and I need to try my hand at a lot of those too. Let's see what we got here. Pulse Chain Trainer, folks.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure I can do it.
No.
I'll try, but I'm definitely. I know this is gonna. There's some people on the panel and then in the chat, but definitely a steak guy.
How dare you? No, I'm just kidding. I'll eat both. I don't care.
Yeah.
Impossible, possible, whatever.
Anything is possible if you try hard enough.
As long as it's tasty, it doesn't matter.
Yo, if you put some marinara on it, it's gonna taste good.
I've lived on nothing but water and fruit.
What I didn't know is that it was such a short topic. Before I started on this diet, I had no idea. I thought, but ever since I started this, I'm like, oh damn, this is all two camps. It's like a war between the two of them. I had no idea.
That is too funny. Oh my, what, dude? What diet is it? You said something about an astronomical amount of eggs earlier.
Yeah, carnivore.
Carnivore. Oh, nice.
How long has it been going?
6 months.
Oh wow! How's it been for you?
Dude, there's no explanation for it. It's insane. It's better than good.
Awesome.
I literally sit behind my desk and I need to buy new shirts because I literally grew out of them. And not because I'm getting fat, but just because my muscle is growing with me doing nothing. This is freaking insane. I've never experienced this yet.
No kidding, dude. That makes me want to give it a go. I need to do something.
What's the
a lot of things that I had that I thought that I had because of age? I mean, I'm not 18 anymore, so I thought, okay, I'm getting older, I get it. And then as soon as I was like 6 to 8 weeks in, all these things disappeared. I thought, wait a minute, what the heck is going on here? Yeah, and then you get dedicated, and now my wife and kids also see the benefits of it. And since a week or 4, the whole family is now over.
All right.
Awesome, dude.
So That makes it a lot easier because I had to cook a lot of food for 2 different. And now I can just hit the pan, put some meat on it, and let's go.
So are you doing purely carnivore, or is it like a, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Only animal based. So milk, cheese, meat, eggs, fish,
Mm.
a lot of chicken. I love chicken. But you
Mm.
gotta eat a lot of it because it's lean. So
Yeah.
I don't care. I eat more. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
How's the impact to your wallet been?
Not as bad as I would have thought.
Mhm.
Since vegetables nowadays is so expensive,
Hmm.
but it is more expensive, of course. Especially now that the whole family is over,
Hmm.
spending $300 a week on meat. Yeah, it
Mm.
goes quickly, and then all the eggs. Yeah, it goes quickly. It's insane how expensive everything is. But I think it's not. It's not meat only. Everything is insane expensive at the moment.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really tell.
That's fair. That's fair. I know Rags was doing it for a while, and he was loving it.
Yeah. Absolutely loving it. Happy. Super. Like you see him
Yeah.
just smiling about it. Oh my gosh.
The best
to-
part
How many?
is
Or
You
how
don't
many
have
people in
to-
the family?
yeah, you don't really have the energy swings anymore that I used to have. That after your dinner or after a meal, you always had a moment of tiredness, of not having energy, and then it took a while before you get energy, and then as soon as you got the energy, it will die off quickly again, and then now it's just like normal. You always energy. You're never tired. It's a strange feeling. You can't explain it unless you experience it.
Very interesting. Tomorrow I start back on intermittent fasting, and then I'm going to end the week with a 3-day proper fast, which will be pretty interesting. This was the diet I was on prior last year. This guy right here is 245 pounds of gloriness right here. It used to be 300 pounds of wow. And then I started to do intermittent fasting. I dropped down to 205 real quick, under like 9 months. Like it was insanity. And I'm going to go back on that soon. That way I can bring in the year of my age of 33, feeling light and fit, as they say over the
boy.
pond.
Illuminati confirmed. I'm out.
Illuminati confirmed. 33. What? No. Dude. One thing I did want to make sure that I mentioned while we have folks in here is Gen Con is going on this month, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that correct, David Lee?
It is 24th in Houston.
Boom.
And a meetup for Texan Hexan Paulsican is on the 23rd.
Awesome. Yeah, Gen Con going on in Houston, Texas. For anyone who doesn't know much about that, there's a ton of good information, and you can go to gencon2023.com and find out. I know that CHB is going to be there, several people in our community, and I think that'll be totally worth going to and checking it out. Here's the details on the screen now. But show some love there. Danny the Singer is one of the hosting this event, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And it should be a really, really cool time. So I wanted to remind folks about that because it is relevant here.
Also,
Danny with the Right Hand Foundation and his charity. And you'll learn more about setting up charities and people that run charities. And it ought to be something else. And John, Firestarter88, the founder of Ophir, which just extended its donation phase till Independence Day.
Yeah.
He'll also be there, and the co-founder Doc Vince, and another one of their good team members, Jet Mercado.
Awesome. Yeah, and for anyone who is
today.
who is unfamiliar with where to find that information, I'm going to type it in real quick as well and share it out. So if you thought that you were going to miss the donation phase for Ophir, you have not. You have until, when was it again, David?
4th of July.
4th of July. That's going to be an awesome
It's
day.
an important anniversary for Texan too, right?
It is. That's going to be the 1 year.
Wow.
That is wild. It feels like that went by really quick. Where is my screen at? I've lost you guys. All right, there we go. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, you can go to ophircrypto.com and check it out. Be sure to follow John on Twitter, and you can keep up to date with everything that's going on in the Ophir world. But yeah.
On that, like what they're doing with Ophir, so like this is kind of bringing it back to the our title of the show, but like a world without crypto or DeFi. So one of the things that like both myself and my brother have been talking about, I mean, even before TEXAN was a thing, but like once we got into crypto for real, like one of the things that like we've always talked about is like what we're going to be able to do to make the world a better place. And this is one of the things that really attracted me to Matt in the first place. Passion Cartel initially, like crypto gives you that hope, gives you is going to give you the possibility to do these good things in the world. And that's what Ophir is doing right now. That's the whole point of what Ophir is doing. It's literally like providing financial, providing money to the churches that need it, and then setting up these endowment contracts for the churches that are just in the poorest of the poor in the Philippines, and just giving them the opportunity to break free from that and do good things with the abundance that will be coming their way. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to, not have to work again and like be able to sustain myself on the passive income or whatever that I make from it. But like being able to do good and help people in the world, that's the real like exciting thing for me.
Facts. Same here.
It's huge. In the Philippines, introducing DeFi, the endowment contract there, considering the standard of living, the potential to really change a country that has, traditional values that unfortunately aren't quite as strong in the United States.
Right.
But people that are motivated for family and for good and freedom, they share a lot of the same, at least beliefs and traditions for freedom. And it's super exciting.
So I stayed up until like 4:30 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I'm just gonna hop on chat roulette and see what, kick it back 10 years ago. I hop on and I get on there with some folks from the Philippines, and I was absolutely just like screaming about Ophir crypto. So I'm trying to spread the word over from the state side too, even if I got to stay up and get nuked on caffeine. Like facing reality, dude. He's my hero because he tears it up with coffee. Only other person I know who can drink as much coffee as me, and I love that. Shout out to Firestarter. Drick says, "Boom, Ari in here as well." We have representation in the chat as well, so I want to give everyone a shout out there for Ophir team. We got
Ari's one of the superstars in the admin, and you're talking about adoption. Some of the structures that team is building are things that will work to build that community, educate that community for years. Robert's being a superstar over there, helping them scale out trainers.
100%.
Yeah, it awesome. Is. So they're learning the smart contract, learning the wallet, and then they will go into the churches. But these are also going to be people that will be talking to everyone about crypto. So yeah, it's just building out a foundation that will be really firm. And when you think of the potential in 5 years, what that could do in the Philippines, man, it's just giant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I mean, and this is just the beginning. Like, I mean, for those who may watch this in the future, like This is project number 2 of who knows how many. I mean, whenever Matt and Brandon talk about like tokenizing communities, I don't believe for a second that they're thinking like single digits. I think that this vision is greater than even any of us realize, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future because I mean, yeah, again, we'll tie it back in. Like a world without crypto or DeFi seems hopeless, right? It seems like you're in a hole and like there's no way out, and you've got to kind of like you've got to be the slave to the system, and it's very imagery based. I mean, you think about it, you're chained to whatever that place you are in life. A world with crypto and DeFi means that you can break those shackles. And it means that you can not only do that for yourself, but it means you can do that for your friends and your family. And it becomes a modern day Moses story, which is compelling. So like I'm super stoked about like what happens with Ophir, super stoked about what happens with whatever happens next. You know, like we're hyped on Pulse Chain, we're hyped on TEXAN, we're hyped on Ophir, but man, I'm hyped on the future just in general with you all and everything.
I'm hyped on Robert's
tokenized world.
popsicle.
What? Yo, that looks good.
It is it's a black cherry all fruit bar, natural. I like.
That sounds good.
Sounds great.
I like fruity things.
Yeah, I was talking to
That's what you
David
said.
in a private conversation. I remember when it was, and we were also talking about the whole tokenizing communities and what's so interesting about it. And I was already speculating way in the future about multiple communities being tokenized and unified through Unifier. All we have seen throughout history is divide. What if within that divide they are able to communicate? Yeah, tokenized communities, but not really about the tokenization, but more unifying communities local, and all these local communities unifying as one.
Mm-hmm.
This would mean that in the future you're getting stronger and stronger due to the network effect. And since everybody's unified, so even though this is 10, 15 years in the future, if this really plays out the way I think it could be insane how this could look in 15 to 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody is unified through a common goal.
Yeah,
that's strong.
It's super strong, man.
That can move mountains.
That is right. That is the mustard seed, man. That is the mustard seed.
Freedom and good.
DeFi unchains the captives.
That's right. So I met with a couple of local artists today, and I'm gonna start seeing about that exactly what Robert said, like free the captives. Like that thought was what a prompt that I gave them. I gave them another prompt of no, what was it? Yeah, I gave them the secure your future, free the captives, and kick the cord, reset the system. So I'm going to see what they come up with, and if it turns out, which I imagine it will, we'll have some stuff to share with the community for folks who are interested in that part of the branding for TEXAN, or if TEXAN's interested in it. Matt and Rags, maybe they'll find some value in it. I think that these cats will turn out some cool stuff.
Hey, here's something. Have them put a 22 somewhere in there as an Easter egg.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden well.
Yeah, we'll hide it in the design. I'll message that to him after we finish up. Drix has a great point here. If we could bottle the love of David Lee, the world would be saved. And I concur. I plus one to that, dude.
I love you, brother. Man, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Dude, Thothschild, I see you in here. What? I possibly haven't said it. Yo. All right, so next week I'm trying to get down with you. You told me to hit your secretary up, but she said she was out of the office. Kampala.
That's a stream I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, we gotta throw down on that next week. Folks, we are coming up on the hour, and as always, I want to be cognizant of your time. So we're gonna wrap up here. Does anyone have any closing thoughts?
Yes, sir. If I can get them out. But going back to Ophir and the title of the show, one of the other things that we've seen over the last couple of years, that if you're telling the truth, you're probably going to get censored, suppressed, or canceled. And that team at Ophir has had every hurdle weird hurdles put in front of them. And I really think it's part of that whole 20, anyone that wants freedom and good and independence of the individual out there is going to take some hits. And so I would urge and ask everyone to help that team over to Ophir. Spread the word, donate, share, do your own research, and give us some feedback and give them some encouragement and some love. I appreciate y'all.
You have another popsicle, Robert?
My man. So,
You can't just eat one. It's quality. I got to make sure they're made to standard.
I'm gonna go get a popsicle.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I want to go. I'm gonna ride down to the store and do that now.
Relax,
so we.
One of them.
Or it's said to keep it organic. Just be yourself. Do whatever.
Dude, do it, dude.
Awesome.
That's what I'm talking
I had a
about, dude.
popsicle.
I still think that we should do. We gotta do I'll go outside and we'll do some Impossible burgers and some normal burgers on the grill, and then we can all do a legit tailgate. I want to do that in person. I can't wait for the day. Jack Handy says when Thos, and then I went and said, Thos, you down for next week? And Thos says absolutamente. We are on next week. That gives you all something to look forward to. Go ahead and write down your best questions. We're gonna just go wherever we go. We're gonna see
have
what
a
happens.
Co-founder of Ophir on next week too, Dr.
Thoughts. We might have to move that. I forgot about that, David. Thank you for reminding me. Dude, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. So
I thought this was going to be like a special stream, so you can go.
We need Thoughts. We need to do it on a day where we can just riff and improv. If you're good on that, maybe we'll flip it to the following week. I'll follow up with you on Twitter though.
Yeah, do Thoughts Child stream in an hour. That doesn't work.
Yeah, we're gonna set the time aside and we're gonna get it going. Thoughts, thank you for your grace there. Yo, and David, you were the man for reminding me on that. And so anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here, folks. Does anyone else have anything to say? Robert, do you want to tell us the 0 out of 10? What would you rate the popsicles?
10.
10, yes.
10.
It's
it's literally just frozen fruit. It's all natural, which is
looks like a 6.
Ooh, I'll buy you some and let you try it for yourself.
Okay.
Nice.
They will be at that in-person tailgate party.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Well, Immutable, Facing Reality, Robert, David Lee, Hexy Quinn, thank you all for being here. Everybody in the chat, shout outs to each and every one of you. We appreciate you being here with us and coming together in community so we can talk about TEXAN, Pulse Chain, and everything else DeFi in the RH ecosystem. Until next time, my name is Forrest, and this is TEXAN Tailgate. Catch you next time.